You probably think the airport starts paying attention to you when you hand over your passport. That is not true. Long before you reach the counter, long before security scans your bag, the airport has already formed an opinion about you. And here's the part most travelers never hear. Many of these systems are designed not to be explained to passengers, because once you understand how they work, you stop being predictable. I've spent the last 2 years interviewing former TSA agents, baggage handlers, and airport security consultants. What I discovered will change how you travel forever. Because the biggest airport problems don't start with a mistake, they start with things you didn't even realize mattered. Secret number 1, your clothes can get you flagged. What you're wearing right now? I'll tell you, it's data. Security scanners don't see outfits, they see shapes, densities, shadows. And certain clothing quietly puts you on a different track. Loose layers, oversized jackets, heavy coats. These aren't comfortable travel choices to a scanner, they're visibility problems. When fabric blocks clear body contours, the system does something you never hear about. It asks for human attention. That's when a random pat-down appears. But here's the twist most travelers miss. People who dress too elegant for short flights also stand out. Not because it's illegal, but because it breaks expectation. And speaking of breaking expectations, the moment you let go of your suitcase, most travelers relax. That sense of relief is misplaced. Your bag enters a highly controlled system where every scan is logged, every stop is recorded. And here's what few passengers realize. That baggage data gets quietly compared with your passenger profile. If your suitcase is unusually heavy or unusually light, if your route is considered sensitive, your bag can be diverted for extra screening without you ever being told. By the time you're sitting calmly at the gate, your suitcase may already have been opened and flagged. But that's nothing compared to what happens when you step into the scanner yourself. When you raise your arms inside that machine, you probably think agents see a vague outline. Wrong. Modern scanners read density changes, unusual shapes, and inconsistencies in how clothing sits on your body with medical-grade precision. Liquids, paper, layered fabric, they all trigger alerts even when nothing illegal is present. The alert doesn't say what it is, only that something doesn't match a normal pattern. While you see a simple scan, operators can request closer inspection when something looks off. And here's where it gets really interesting, because what triggers that closer look isn't always what you'd expect. Almost every traveler has heard it. You've been selected randomly. It sounds fair. Most of the time, it's not entirely true. Behind that phrase are algorithms scanning tickets before you ever reach security. Last-minute bookings, one-way flights, unusual connections, paying in cash. They all trigger silent flags. But behavior matters too. Excessive nervousness, avoiding eye contact, even how you grip your bag can work against you. By the time you think you're unlucky, multiple invisible signals have already lined up, and those signals follow a pattern that extends far beyond the security checkpoint. Most travelers assume once a suitcase is checked, it stays sealed. That assumption is wrong. Airport security has the legal right to open your luggage without notifying you. TSA-approved locks, they have master keys. Non-approved locks get cut off without explanation. Dense packing, items wrapped in foil, anything that makes X-ray scanning difficult triggers what insiders call physical inspection. Your bag gets opened, inspected, and sent on its way without you ever knowing. But the invasion of privacy doesn't stop there, because even your ticket price is being used against you. When your boarding pass gets scanned, staff don't just see your name and seat. They see your fare type, whether you bought on sale, paid full price, used miles, or booked through discount sites. Officially, this shouldn't affect treatment. In reality, it often does. Passengers who paid more get prioritized for upgrades and assistance. Budget travelers fall to the bottom when problems arise. During overbooked flights, price paid becomes an invisible ranking system. But here's what's even more disturbing. Your expensive luggage might actually be working against you. And if you're finding this as shocking as I did when I first discovered it, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe, because what I'm about to reveal next is going to blow your mind. When luggage is checked under premium services or declared with higher value, it receives internal codes that signal, "This bag is different." In theory, that helps. It tells handlers to move carefully and track closely. But those same codes can make bags stand out to the wrong people. During transfers and storage, bags perceived as high value have arrived late, shown signs of tampering, or been missing items. Sometimes the best security is looking like you have nothing worth stealing. And while we're talking about things working against you, those airport cameras are reading more than you think. Airport cameras aren't just watching for obvious threats. Thermal imaging can detect stress patterns through tiny temperature changes in your face and neck. When you're anxious, blood flow shifts. creating heat signatures invisible to humans but clear to machines. If the system flags unusual thermal patterns, security gets alerted to take a closer look. That leads to additional questions, secondary screening, or quiet observation, all without you knowing why it started. Your own body might be reacting before you say a word, but what happens when that reaction gets you pulled aside? When people hear restricted area, they imagine employee-only zones. What most don't realize is that passengers get taken there too, without warning and without having done anything obviously wrong. If documents raise questions, if luggage creates doubt, you may be quietly escorted away from public view. These checks happen out of sight on purpose to avoid panic in terminals. You're not under arrest, but you're also not free to refuse without consequences. The process is intentionally opaque because the less you know, the smoother their system runs. And that system keeps track of more than you'd ever imagine. Airlines maintain internal flagging systems for passengers who cause disruptions. Not criminal records, just digital notes that follow you from flight to flight. Arguments with gate agents, aggressive complaints, refusing instructions, they all leave traces. Being on these lists doesn't mean denied travel, but it changes how you're handled. You get watched more closely, offered fewer favors, and seated where staff can observe you. The most uncomfortable part? You'll never be told if you're on one. From your perspective, it just feels like you're treated differently. Here's what this all means. The airport isn't random. It's a system designed to read, categorize, and respond to every traveler. The passengers who move smoothly aren't lucky. They understand the invisible rules. They dress predictably, act calmly, and give the system no reason to notice them. Now, these secrets will keep you prepared for what airports are already doing. And if you think these hidden systems were shocking, wait until you see what I discovered about the new carry-on restrictions that nobody's talking about. Click this video to find out what they just rolled out for carry-on rules in 2026. That's a whole different level of crazy.